Well, good morning everybody, and welcome back to the channel. This morning I'm out and about in the Lake District. I drove down last night in my van, so I thought I'd do a bit of camping in the van, come out for a nice cold frosty morning photo shoot and then finish it off with quite a big day hike. But unfortunately it's not quite gone to plan because I think the weather forecast has been a bit off. Which is a shame because I think it was forecast to drop to -4, -5 with a sharp frost, and on my phone I have weather warnings for ice. But when I was in bed last night I was thinking to myself, it doesn't feel very cold. And granted, I woke up this morning pretty cold, but as I've come out, you know, it's quite windy, there's no frost at all, and I'd say temperatures are around about 1, possibly 0 at the most. Which is a shame, really, because it means that what I had in mind for photography isn't going to happen, and actually what could have been a magical day for photography is actually a little bit bland, which is a shame. But, you know, every cloud has a silver lining, and in this case the silver lining is that although the weather might not be great for photography, it's fantastic for hiking, which is going to be the second part of my day. We've got blue skies, the wind is forecast to drop right down, and it's a lovely crisp cold day. So yeah, looking forward to it. I think although I've been walking around having a look for compositions and stuff, the conditions just are pretty poor, you know, blue skies, windy, and a bit bland. So I'm gonna go back to the van, make some breakfast, have a coffee, and then we'll start a lovely day hike, and we'll maybe get some images on the hike. We'll see what happens. So I'll show you the route I'm going to walk. It's a nice hike. It's it's a peak that I've not done before. It's the 5th highest mountain in England. So it's a good one. You know, it's a good slog up. I'm just trying to find the right map. I hope I've got it with me. Yes, here we go. Oh, it's one of those really annoying locations that's on the edge of the map. So I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. So the mountain that I want to climb is about here. So it's about 2 inches off the map. So that's a bit annoying. So hopefully I don't need 2 maps. Just have to get the next one down. Is OL6. So I don't know if you can see that, but to do Great End, it's the 5th highest mountain in England, and that's the one I'm going to climb. And you know, I'm taking my camera, but I'm certainly not going for photography. That's not the reason I'm doing it. I just want to come out today and just have a good hike. You know, I've got a trip to Nepal in November, and you know, I want to get in many more hikes before then. So just coming out on day hikes like this every so often is certainly a step in the right direction, and it's something I definitely want to do more of. So for breakfast, it's nothing fancy. I like these little porridge pots. They don't cost much. Normally less than £1, but they're usually really nice and very quick, easy and convenient. And one thing I'm learning about the van is that anything that requires washing up is a massive headache, so I generally try to avoid that wherever possible. So little quick and easy, convenient porridge pots are always a winner. Also got bananas, a coffee, and I've got some flapjacks as well. So, yeah. So sometimes just this can be the best part about coming out in the van with the camera. It's just relaxing. You know, I've got a hot coffee, a hot breakfast, a comfortable lounge, I've got a map to look over, and I've got amazing views of the fells illuminated by the morning light. So yeah, I'm just going to chill out. I don't want to set off on my hike too early, because I don't think it's going to take me more than a few hours, if that, maybe 2 hours to get to the summit. And if I get there too early, then there's no chance of a sunset shoot. But we'll see, we'll play it by ear. I really don't know what I fancy doing today. So one of the reasons I decided to go for a hike up Great End is because the route to the mountain is one of my favourite valleys, one of my favourite footpaths in the Lake District. Starts from Seathwaite, and I don't know the name of the valley actually, but it's the valley that runs between Seathwaite Fell and Glamara. And it's nice, it kind of, you know, as soon as you set off on the trail, it doesn't take long before you get that feeling of being very, very remote. There is, other than the footpath, there are no signs of human activity. Obviously we have a couple of small fences, but you know, other than that there's no buildings, no towns. Big expanse of space all around. And it's a great walk. Both this side of Seathwaite Fell and the other side of that fell that takes you up to Styhead Tarn. It's just one of my favourite places to come walking in the lakes. And actually this is the same footpath where I shot my very first YouTube video, on this footpath. So it's a good one. I don't think I've ever seen it in such clear weather. Normally when I'm heading that way up the fell, it's usually into thick cloud and danger. Well, that's what it feels like. But today is nice, clear skies, nice crisp cold weather, and excited for getting to the top of Great End, the 5th highest mountain in the country. And I'm expecting the views to be fantastic because it's directly opposite Great Gable and Scafell Pike. So it has some big neighbours. Yeah, nice walk, really nice. Oh, I'm feeling it now. You can, the temperature's dropped and it's definitely below freezing. But it's beautiful. I passed this amazing waterfall with everything encrusted in ice, but where the water's dripping, you get these small bulbous ice formations, and there's a tree right next to the waterfall, and all of the branches are covered in crystal clear, thick ice, just like freezing rain. And yeah, so it has its advantages, but it is freezing. Probably, I don't know, maybe I'm about 1,500 feet, something like that, 1,600 feet. And it's cold, but it's a fantastic hike. The peak that I'm climbing is just behind you. Yeah, that's it, that's Great End. And the views should be fantastic. Really looking forward to getting up there. I've just stopped for a water break and some food, and just to relax and enjoy the sounds of the babbling brook. And soon I'll be off and on my way up the final climb of the day. So for this entire walk I've been in the shadow of Great End, and finally for the first time I'm stepping into sunlight. Oh, it feels so nice. It's like a little win. Yeah, it's a really, really nice feeling to have the sun on my face. I'm gonna stay right here. Stay until it disappears. One way, gonna lay down, be still, won't waste another tear. So I'm standing on, or very close to, the summit of Great End. It's just behind me there. I've just dropped down here out of the wind a little bit, and oh, it's breathtaking. The views are phenomenal. Absolutely gorgeous. You've got 360 views. If you walk around, you can see just over my shoulder. Where are we? There. No, that one there, Scafell Pike. That's the highest mountain in England. You know, actually it's you can walk to it from here, but I think I'll give that a miss. I've decided it's very cold and windy up here. I've decided not to stay and take a photograph, although the views are fantastic. They really are phenomenal. The lighting's incredibly harsh, and it's so cold and windy that I'd have to be up here for another 2.5 or 3 hours. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk back down and take like a circular route around via Stye Head Tarn and drop back down to the car from there. Maybe, hopefully, I'll see something on the way. It's a lot warmer down there and not as windy. So if I find a good spot, a good composition that I haven't shot before, it might be worth waiting out until sunset, because we do have some high clouds building in. So there could be some colour, there could be something going on. Oh, out of the wind now. But yeah, it's been a fantastic hike. I really took my time, enjoyed it. You know, perfect day for it. And even if I don't get a photograph, I don't mind carrying the camera and tripod. I really don't. It's always good to have it just in case. And the day is not over, so let's see if we can get something on the way down. So that there is Great End that I walked off because it was far too cold and windy. I've dropped down and I'm now on a smaller hill called Allen Crags. And it was worth coming up here for a look, just because it's only sort of 10 minutes from the path to the summit. But you get great views. I've just dropped out of the wind and I'm in the sunshine and it's peaceful and it's just glorious. Now whilst I'm here and I'm warm, I've started to consider compositions. So one possible composition is looking in that direction towards the Langdale Pikes, which is over there, and I'm thinking of panoramic, because all of that should be nicely side-lit by the setting sun. But on the other hand, come with me into the wind. The direction that the sun's setting is getting some high cloud, bit of high cloud action. That is Great Gable. That peak is the one I've just climbed, Great End, and all of this range here is rather quite nice, and I'm thinking that could also work well for a panoramic at sunset, because it looks like the sky's going to light up. Could be a burning red sunset, maybe, but it's still a good hour and a half to 2 hours until we're going to get any of that. So it's just, do I want to wait? I'm not so sure. It is nice, I've got some hot food in my bag, so I might get that out. Maybe shoot this pano while we've got some contrast, because actually that won't work too well when the sun drops. And then see how I feel, and see if I want to wait around and then hike back in the dark, which is never fun when there's ice on the trail. Although I do have a head torch, so there is that. One of the best investments I've ever made is in this bag, and I'm about to show it to you. A long spoon. See, when eating these meals that come in a bag, if you have a normal spoon, you have to get into the good stuff at the bottom. Your fingers end up penetrating the food. So you end up with sauce or meat or whatever all over your fingers. Problem solved with a long spoon. Yeah, it's just tips and advice you don't get anywhere else. What can I say? Pasta bolognese, if anyone's interested. Still hot, I would expect. Been in the flask for about 5 hours. Yeah, it's good. Glorious. So when you're out hiking all day in the mountains, like I have done today, of course, it's always breathtaking to see the spectacular views and the wide vistas and the mountains and land and hills that seem to go on forever and ever and ever. But what you also notice are the details, like the frozen waterfalls, the cracks in the ice, the pebbles, the footpaths, the birds, the stuff that you're walking over. That's what I pay attention to more than anything. And as I've come walking down this footpath beneath these giant mountains, what's caught my eye more than anything, more than the panoramic views I was talking about before, more than Great Gable over to my left, what caught my attention and what caught my eye most was this interaction between this ice and the pebbles of the footpath. And it's this small detail that's no bigger than, I don't know, 1 square foot in all of this miles and miles of vista. It's this one detail that caught my eye and actually inspired me to get my camera out and take the shot. Now, what is so special about this for me is obviously the shapes and the abstract nature of the image, but the way the light's just setting. See the light's just coming over the hill behind me? Well, that is very, very soft, low light, and that's just skimming the pebbles and the ice and the composition, giving it that three-dimensional feel, giving it a lift. So the light really makes all of the difference. And maybe I wouldn't have noticed this. In fact, I didn't notice it because I've walked past it and then I've come back, and it's on the way back that I noticed it. But I think it's perhaps down to the warm light that was just kissing the pebbles and giving me that contrast between the ice and the rocks. And yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, it's quite a straightforward shot. I did put on a polarizer just to get rid of the glare of some of the wet areas of stones and to bring out more detail. I'm shooting at f11, as always with intimate compositions like this where I'm not quite at a square angle. I focus stack purely just for peace of mind, if nothing else. So I've focus stacked the image, f11, 2-second timer, and I've captured the only image from a 5-hour day in the mountains, and it happens to be one footstep on the path that I was walking to between all of these giants. So yeah, just goes to show, sometimes it can be the very ground beneath your feet that inspires you to take a photograph. I think now it's time to make my way back down and start the long journey towards the van. So I'm not really sure how I feel about the image. I'll know better when I get back on my computer. I think I liked it, but I don't feel bad that I haven't like taken a grand vista panorama with mountains and everything, because I just wasn't inspired to. And I think unless I see something really epic that inspires me and grabs my attention, I'm just, I don't want to take a shot for the sake of it. It looks like I was wrong with my prediction of a burning sunset, so I suppose that's good news and bad news. Good news is I haven't missed out, bad news is I got my prediction wrong. But yeah, those intimate shots should never be overlooked, and you should never feel bad for not taking an image. I've come out for a big hike today. I've checked out a couple of new peaks, this one and Alan Crags just there over my shoulder. Both wonderful and definitely ones to come back to. It's just conditions weren't quite right today for photography. Maybe some more snow cover or some better light. I'm not so sure, but I don't mind. I'm happy to walk away with no image. I'm happy to walk away with an image that was just an intimate detail shot that, quite frankly, could have been taken anywhere. But that's what I quite like. Quite like those types of images. So yeah, feeling positive. But I'm gonna leave this video here because I do want to make a good, I want to get down back towards the van and cover a good distance before darkness because of all the ice. I do have spikes and I do have a head torch. It's just a lot of faff. So I'm going to say farewell and thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed my day out and coming along with me, and join me next time. So yeah, until then, bye for now.